Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy, the Mad Kiger, up here today with the next part of the DVD collection. That's right, this time we are going to be doing front and back on this shelf, just because this shelf is quite a bit big shelf, and there's no way I would have been able to talk about all of these. You know, there would have been like over 100 or 200, you know, in one part, and it would have gone on for too long. And, you know, like I said, I don't want these videos to go, you know, too long in length of, you know, but we're going to go straight into it today. And there's some horrors and things in here. I see lots of different stuff, but the next part will be the back part. And of course, the fucking cat has come to join us again. Minx, I don't want you in the video again. Go on. We can cuddle later. Right. So let's just get straight into it. Minx, no, go on. Right, up first we have your focus, Clash of Empires, Rise of the Battle for Asia. I haven't watched this yet, but it looks like a Spartan or something kind of movie there. Age of Dinosaurs, another one of these cheap dinosaur movies. There's so many dinosaur and shark movies out there, it's ridiculous. Then we have the two 300 movies, 300 and 300 Rise of an Empire. I actually haven't watched either one of these movies. These are one of the movies that I do need to watch. So, and like I said, I'm going through my collection and watching movies and stuff. Tonight I'm going to be watching Men in Black 2. Watched the first one the other day, and I thought I'll watch the second one next. Then we have The Nightmare Before Christmas. This is a special edition version. This movie is actually, yeah, it's pretty good. Classic, you know, there's talk about a new one coming out. It wouldn't surprise me. It's a classic movie, you know, everyone loves that movie. I think it's pretty decent. This is Halloween. This is Halloween. Then we got two versions of Sweeney Todd, the special edition and a normal version. This movie's... Oh, one sec. I had a phone call. Yeah, Sweeney Todd. I actually didn't mind this movie. I'm not really the biggest Tim Burton fan. I'm not going to lie. I don't dislike his movies. I'm not the biggest Tim Burton fan. I think he is a bit overrated in my opinion, but that's just me. This movie's alright. It is a bit of a musical, but it's just kind of different in the sort of horror movie genre. I would say it's a bit of a horror movie. Then we have the Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow. Watch this one. Again, same sort of thing as Sweeney Todd. I didn't really think much of it. It was alright. Because there's so many versions of like Sleepy Hollow. Then we got Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Haven't watched this film. I don't know if I ever will. I probably will get around to it one day. Again, these are all mostly Heather's Tim Burton movies. Then we have Frankenweenie, again, animated movie. I think it's all done in black and white, so that's quite unique there. Then we have Ed Wood. I believe it's a sort of movie based on the film creator Ed Wood. So again, it's a Tim Burton movie. I think this is one of his early movies as well. Then we have Edward Scissorhands. Again, Johnny Depp is like Tim Burton's boyfriend, one could say. Then we have Dark Shadows. Once again, Johnny Depp. I think this is like vampires and things. Not really interested. Then we have Corpse Bride, very similar movie to Nightmare Before Christmas, very similar style to it. Again, pretty solid animation. I do like this style of animation, you know, quite, you know, stop motion and things. Kind of a dying art, one might say. Then we have Coraline. This movie is terrifying for kids. It is a bit of a... If this is a kids movie, again, fucking hell. But Johnny Depp has this dark, twisted art style, which I do like. Then we have Big Fish. It does... this only Johnny Depp movie actually stars Ewan McGregor from Star Wars, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't really know what it's about. I think it's about a fish or something. I don't know. Then we have Beetlejuice. I like this movie, but I was a little bit kind of like, well, if it's called Beetlejuice, there's not really much, you don't really see much Beetlejuice in the movie, actually, the character. It's more about the people, but it is a pretty wacky, out there sort of comedy slash horror, one might say. It's very over the top. Then we have at 9. Haven't watched it myself, but I hear it's again very good animation style. Then we have Pirates of the Caribbean on The Curse of the Black Pearl. I love the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I don't really have a particular favourite of them. I've seen them all. I know that they are talking about the new one is going to be a female lead instead of Jack Sparrow. It's going to be a female Jack Sparrow. Again, similar thing. I don't see why they're trying to change the character of Jack Sparrow. Yeah, if Johnny Depp don't want to play Jack Sparrow anymore, that's fair enough, but then just don't call him Jack Sparrow. Just make it a completely different character. You know, leave Jack Sparrow alone. But Pirates of the Caribbean is pretty solid movie, pretty funny, good pirate movies. There's not many pirate movies out there that do stand up. But yeah, then we have Pan's Labyrinth, Guillermo del Toro movie. Very well-known movie. This is a very weird movie. I haven't watched it myself, but I hear good things about it. Then we have the Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian, the Disney version. I actually haven't watched Prince Caspian. This is the only Disney Narnia film that I haven't watched. And we actually haven't heard about Narnia by Disney. I wonder if Disney are going to bring it back and continue it on, because after Voyage of the Dawn Trader, whatever you call it, the third one, they haven't done anything else yet. So wondering if they are going to continue it or not. Then we have Mongol, the Rise to Power of Genghis Khan, movie about Genghis Khan. Haven't watched it yet, but probably be an interesting movie. This is some sort of fantasy and movies here. Kingdom of Heaven, haven't watched it, but I hear it's pretty good. King Arthur, the director's cut version. Again, another fantasy movie. I do like fantasy movies and stuff. Journey to the Centre of the Earth. This was actually a movie I watched in the cinema. I know it's a sort of remake or updated version. I know there was an original one in the 80s or something like that. And yeah, this movie's alright. I haven't watched it in a while, so of course starring Brendan Fraser from the Mummy series. Then we have the very classic 60s Jason and the Argonauts. I believe it's 60s. It might be 70s, but very classic movie. Quite cheesy and stuff. Lots of good stop motion and things in there. Then we have Gladiator, starring Russell Crowe. Very good movie. This is a fantastic movie. Really, really good movie. Are you not entertained? Of course. Then we have Troll Hunter. Haven't watched it, but I don't really know really much about it. But apparently it's meant to be quite good. Then we have 2012. I think I've watched this. I don't really much care for disaster movies that much. I don't, sometimes I'll watch them if Heather has them on or something, but I don't really much care for them. Same with shark movies. Then we have the original Ghostbusters 1 and 2. I believe these are the only Ghostbuster movies that one might be interested in. A lot of people say just ignore the third Ghostbusters or the remake or whatever you want to call it. I actually am ashamed to admit I actually haven't watched these movies all the way through, so I need to work on that. Then we have Creed, the Rocky Legacy, of course, continuation of Rocky. However, it's instead of Rocky, it's him training Apollo Creed's son, played by Michael B. Jordan. And I know that there was a second one, or either coming out or it's been out. They have the Bourne Identity, starring Matt Damon. Again, action movie. Then we have The Tortured. I did watch this movie. It's made by the same people who did Saw. It's a very brutal movie with a twist ending. But the twist ending in this movie, I kind of seen it coming from the beginning. But it's basically about this family whose son gets taken from them and killed by this guy, and then they basically aren't happy with the verdict and basically take the law into their own hands and torture the geezer. I'm not going to spoil the ending for you, but it's an ending that you kind of see coming. Then we have Rampage, starring Dwayne Johnson. I actually didn't think this movie was too bad. With a video game like Rampage, what more can you do? It's going to be about giant monsters fighting each other and stuff like that, and and things. But I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was it had some funny moments in it and stuff like that. Yes, Dwayne Johnson is in so many movies these days. It's crazy, but gotta love The Rock. Then we have The Wrestler, again starring Mickey Rourke. I haven't watched this movie, but I hear it's meant to be I hear this movie sort of meant to make you really sort of think twice about wrestlers and what they go through afterwards. Then we have one of the most hated movies of last year, the Emoji Movie. I haven't watched it yet, but I only got it because I want to see if it's as bad as what everyone says it is. Then we got WrestleMania 22. However, it don't have all the discs. It only has 2 discs. So, yeah, I have a few of these wrestling DVDs. I've sort of given up on wrestling at the moment. I haven't watched wrestling in a while. I want to get back into it, but it's been so long. And there's so much I've missed out on. I keep up to date with the seeing all the social media posts and stuff, so you know I know what's going on, but I haven't watched it in a while. But then we have the rise and fall of WCW, again WWE's competitor back in the day. Then we have the ever great Infinity War Avengers. This movie is in my opinion one of the best Marvel movies. I am really looking forward to Avengers Endgame, and I absolutely loved Infinity War, and I think it was some of their best work. Then we have another copy of Edward Scissorhands for some reason. Then we have the first Purge. It's the only Purge I haven't watched. I enjoyed the first Purge movie, as in the first one that came out. Then afterwards I sort of lost interest in the others. I thought it weren't too good. I hear this one's actually a bit better than the last 2. Then we have Unchained. I believe it's kind of like another action movie. Producers of Expendables and London Has Fallen. Then we have 2 Lego Star Wars animated adventures, The Padawan Menace and The Empire Strikes Out. I love Lego Star Wars. Anything Star Wars I have to have, of course. Then we have Stanley Kubrick's Clockwork Orange. For so long I had pushed back watching this movie, but I finally watched it a couple months ago and I loved this movie. It was absolutely fantastic. I can see why this movie got so much backlash back in the day, and it got banned because of the rape scene and things like that. But it's a very it's one of those movies that you watch and then you sort of afterwards you're like, you either think, oh my god, that was amazing, or what the hell did I just watch? And that's kind of what Stanley Kubrick's known for in some senses. And we have Excalibur. Again, another classic sort of fantasy movie there. Then we have Dungeons and Dragons. There's quite a few Dungeons and Dragons movie actually. I love, I don't really play Dungeons and Dragons or really know much about the universe, but I love these sort of cheesy, bad, you know, fantasy movies. Then we got Dawn of the Dragon Slayer, another fantasy movie, probably a lot to do with dragons. Then we have Deathstalkers. There's 4 of these movies. I want to get them all. These are sort of meant to be really bad, sort of adult-themed, you know, fantasy movies. Then we got the original Clash of the Titans. Yes, there was an original one, and this is the original one. Again, love these sort of old school fantasy movies. Then we got the much hated Twilight movies, New Moon and the original Twilight. Again, not much to say on these. I have no interest in them whatsoever. Same goes for this movie, The Vampire's Assistant. Again, not really my kind of thing. Then we got the Mummy movies. We got the Mummy collection, which has the Mummy Returns and the Scorpion King, which technically isn't a Mummy movie, but it's in the same universe, I believe. And the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. I actually enjoyed this one more than I did the others. These movies are alright actually, they're nothing special, but I enjoyed Tomb of the Dragon Emperor just because it had a more Chinese mythological to it, and I love, you know, Chinese history and things like that. Then we got the last Fantastic Four movie they brought out. I hear it's not that good. Unfortunately, Fantastic Four never really got the treatment, but I hear they are actually going to be doing a Marvel Cinematic Universe Fantastic Four movie, so they'll probably link them in, and maybe in the future we might see them in another Avengers movie. Then we got Jigsaw. I enjoyed this movie. I thought the ending was a little bit a little bit over the top, but I love the Saw movies, which is why I have them all. Again, the Saw movies, in my opinion, are some of my favorite horror movies, just because I love how they all connect, and how, you know, if you watch them all, you know, in wrong order, you're going to be confused, but if you watch them in the right order, then you really are. You either love these movies or hate them. I love them. The original, which in my opinion is probably the best one. This movie, you know, really stick something else. Saw 2, Saw 3, Saw 4 Extreme Edition of Saw 5. These Extreme Editions have some extra content in them and stuff. Saw the final chapter. Oh, and there's Saw 6 as well. I enjoy the Saw movies. I'm looking forward to Jigsaw 2 when they bring it out. Did they need to do a Jigsaw movie? Yes, there's a lot of unanswered questions at the end of the final chapter. There really is, and they can do a lot with it, but I'm kind of glad that they sort of in a way that with Jigsaw they sort of went away from the last movie, and this is its own set, and I think Jigsaw movies are going to be their own set, and then I think eventually they'll connect the two movies together and answer all the questions that were left unanswered in the final chapter. I was a little disappointed there weren't much of John Kramer in this one, but then again, like I said, they were trying to go away from that. Then we got Friday, of course, Ice Cube and Chris Tucker. You know that damn meme? That's from this movie, I believe. Then we have a Warhammer movie. I don't think there's many Warhammer movies out there, but here's Ultramarines. I haven't watched it yet, but I really do want to get around to watching it, because yes, I don't collect Warhammer anymore, and I don't really know much of the like rules and stuff like that, but I do love the universe, like the video games, animated and things like that, and I would really like to see a Warhammer anime or cartoon. That would be awesome. Then we got the Meg, another shark film, haven't watched it. And we got the Ric Flair Ultimate Collection. Again, Ric Flair, you gotta beat them. To beat a man, you gotta beat the man. Ric Flair, what can be said about him? One of the best of all time. Great, very, very great thing. I know there's a lot of backlash about Charlotte Flair and what's going on in WWE at the moment, but that's one of the reasons why I've sort of stopped watching it. Then we got this Attitude Era. This was part of a set, but they gave this away as a pre-order bonus when you all pre-ordered. I think it was WWE 17, I think it was. Then we got the top 25 rivalries in wrestling history. I like these sort of documentaries and things like that, and top lists. Then we got the top 50 incidents in WWE history, and this is an 18, so I think we're going to see a lot of brutality in that. Then we got CM Punk, Best in the World, documentary based on CM Punk. I know a lot of people want him to come back to WWE, but I can't see it happen, and if it does happen, you know I'm going to be watching WWE again. Then we got the Jurassic Park collection. It comes with the original Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World. I think Jurassic Park, the first one, is still the best. The Lost World is really good. Is where it was a great sequel. Jurassic Park 3 was a little bit on the. I enjoy it, but it's not as good as the first two. And Jurassic World, in my opinion, it wasn't a bad movie. I just didn't really much care for it, that's all. Then we got the rest of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Dead Man's Chest, really good one. At World's End, this was the actual first Pirates of the Caribbean movie I ever watched. I went and watched it in the cinema with my mate. On Stranger Tides and Salazar's Revenge. This movie was going to be called Dead Men Tell No Tales originally, and then I think they changed the title to Salazar's Revenge. Again, I enjoyed them. I don't think they're bad movies. Does the You know, the first one is great. Does it decline over time? Slightly, but not as bad as some movies. Then we got the Mortal Instruments, City of Bones. Again, Heather's movie. She likes that sort of thing. The two Magic Mike movies. Yeah, these movies, yeah, for females or gay people, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not really going to be watching that anytime soon, I don't think. Then we got The Rock, the story of the Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Again, documentary based on The Rock. Tom Cruise in The Last Samurai. Again, a more Western version on an Asian culture, so I don't know how good that's going to be. Then we got The Golden Compass. Haven't watched it. Then we got Kevin Costner's Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, of course, a very famous movie for having Bryan Adams. I'll do anything, I'll do everything. You know what I mean. I'll do everything. Everything I do. That's it. Everything I do. Why did I think I was thinking the wrong song? Everything I do it for you. Yeah. There's no love. Then we got the two Lara Croft Tomb Raider movies starring Angelina Jolie. These are those sort of movies you either love or hate. I hear the new one is actually meant to be quite good. Then we got Tekken. Again, we're going into some video game themed movies here. Yeah, even Tekken got a movie. And we got the very famous Claude Van Damme's Street Fighter movie, and of course we all know this movie. There was actually a Street Fighter movie that came out in either China or Japan, which was meant to be a lot better than that one. Then we got Silent Hill Revelations. I would like to see another Silent Hill movie. I enjoyed these movies. Yes, I know they're not as good as the games, but what do you expect? They still capture the elements of Silent Hill and, you know, creepy and stuff, so... then we got Mortal Kombat Conquest. I believe this was sort of like a TV show, like a short TV show that they used to do, and it's got a few episodes on there. So I love the Mortal Kombat. The movies are cheesy, but yeah, Mortal Kombat's great. Mortal Kombat. Do 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 do. And we got Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. Again, where this links into Final Fantasy, the games, I have no clue. I haven't played a Final Fantasy game and I know nothing of the lore. Then we got Doom, again starring Rock, again Dwayne Johnson. This movie isn't too bad. It's not as bad as what you think it's gonna be, but you know, it would be nice to get a better Doom movie. I'm not gonna deny that. Then we got Blood Rain, again, haven't watched it and I haven't played the game, so I don't really have any expectations. And there's another Twilight, Breaking Dawn. Then we got the ever-hated Dragon Ball Evolution. Why this movie exists, I don't know. A lot of people were very, very angry about this movie. Then we got Silent Hill, the original, the first one. This one doesn't really... I think if you're going to sort of compare it to a game, this one's more like the second game, and then Silent Hill Revelations is a bit more like Silent Hill 3. They're not based on any game, but they're similar in... If you watch them, you'll know what I mean. You can sort of link them up together. Then we got Dead or Alive, again. I'm guessing, you know, very similar to the actual Dead or Alive video game. It's more aimed towards the females. Real Steel, starring Hugh Jackman. Again, this is a sort of robot-themed movie. The Gingerbread Man, I'm guessing that's my son's. Another copy of Van Helsing. And then the last one in this part is The Mean Girls 1 and 2. Another chick flick, one could say. Anyway, I'm going to leave that there. Sorry it's not the biggest part today, but the next part will be a continuation, and then we'll go on from there. If you guys enjoyed today's video, feel free to leave a like, and of course comment below. Let me know what you've been up to, any plans for the week. I'm gonna go shop in a minute, get something to eat, come back, and then I'm probably gonna go and play some Samurai Warriors 4 Empires. I am so close to platinum in the game. I've done all the scenarios now. I'm on Genesis mode. I've got this mode to do, and then the rest of them, the achievement. I'm debating on whether I really do play the game and keep playing it until I platinum it, or after I've done this Genesis mode, move on to another game. I don't know. Chances are I'm probably going to move on to another game, but then there's always part of me that's like, you just platinum it and then you know that you've done it and you can move on, kind of thing. Am I trying to platinum every single PS4 game I've got? No, definitely not. It would take me ages to do so, and I wouldn't have the time to do that. But you know, I haven't got that many PS4 games physical anyway. I've got like 20 or so, so it's not like I'm it's not like but I have got quite a few digital games, but it's not like you know, like my PS2 collection where, you know, I've got so many PlayStation 2 games. It would take me ages to try and get everything in them. But nonetheless, guys, feel free to subscribe if you haven't already and join the family. And of course, as always, have a nice day. And check out all the social media links in the description below. I will be updating all of the last few videos, putting a proper thumbnail on them and putting all the social media links in the description and stuff like that later on tonight, so I will make sure that I actually do it. So I apologise for that, and as always, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.